Hey hockey player, in this video, I want to teach you about how you can optimize your twice per day training so that you can become a better hockey player. Look, there's a lot of questions from hockey players rolling in to hockeytraining.com about twice per day training. Hey, can I add this in? Hey, should I do this? Hey, is it okay to do strength and conditioning on the same day? Lots of questions come in like this in some way, shape, or form. And yes, twice per day training can be a very effective way in which you can become a better hockey player and get faster, stronger, whatever it is that your goal is. Training more often than not, provided you're recovering, is what's going to allow you to get a better result. But you're going to need to follow these rules in order to get that better result. Or else you might end up just digging a ditch of fatigue debt that you're not going to be able to get out of, that eventually leads to overtraining syndrome. But first and foremost, we have to understand how the body makes change. And it begins with the principle of directed adaptation. Now, you don't actually build strength in the gym. You don't build muscle in the gym. You don't build power in the gym. And you don't build endurance in the gym. What you do in the gym is create a stimulus for muscle growth, a stimulus for power development, or a stimulus for strength or endurance development. Everything you do outside of the gym determines whether or not you actually adapt to that stimulus. This means training is the stimulus, but diet, sleep, and stress management are largely your adaptation. So that right there can tell you a lot about if you're progressing in your hockey career or not, and what areas you should be looking at in order to move forward. But when it comes to creating a stimulus, it's important to not get your signal lost in the noise. For example, if I do a hard strength workout today, my body is going to say, holy crap, Dan subjected himself to a lot of heavy weight today. I'm going to need to get stronger and build some muscle mass in case he ever is in the environment where that form of stress can be applied to him again. If we come back bigger and stronger, he'll be able to handle that. That's the stimulus happening in the body, and then the brain, nervous system, and musculature are working to adapt to that stimulus so we can come back stronger next time and handle that stressor if it ever happens again. But when you do mixed stimulus, the body ends up in kind of a gray area. Let's say you do a really intense strength workout, but then you go out for a long jog after. The body, in a very real way, will go, all right, I don't really know what you want me to get better at. Do you want me to get stronger, or do you want me to have more endurance? I don't really know what you want me to get better at, so I'm going to pick some sort of middle ground so that you don't get the maximal adaptation from either workout. This is a major problem, and it runs right in the face of the principle of directed adaptation. Directed adaptation means we send one signal and there isn't noise. We send one signal to the body so we get stronger, or we get faster, or we get more conditioned. That's what training program design is all about, and that's actually why phases exist. The principle of directed adaptation is why you have a hypertrophy phase, why you have a strength phase, why you have a power phase. Because directed adaptation means we need to send one major signal to get the response. So when it comes to training twice per day, we know that certain molecular signaling happens in order to create the stimulus. And we don't want to send two signals in the same day. So what do? We space the workouts out by at least 4 to 6 hours. If you can space the workouts out by 4 to 6 hours, you're doing a way better job at first doing your weight training in the morning and allowing your body to send one signal to become bigger and stronger. As that signal is entrenched within the DNA, research suggests it takes about 90 minutes or so post-training in order for that signal to essentially hit the highway, for lack of a better term, and be on its way. You're going to begin that recovery process without sending another stimulus in with it in order to mess things up. But when you train 4 to 6 hours later, you can then do something else and give it its own directed stimulus for directed adaptation as well. All right? So don't send conflicting signals within the same workout. If you want to do 2 workouts in one day, space them apart by 4 to 6 hours so that you can recover in between sessions and have a better performance in both sessions, but also so that you don't send mixed signals to the body and you get 2 full signals rather than 2 really weak signals. All right? Next, your workout should be 45 minutes or less. What I said in the beginning of this video was, yes, twice per day training is fantastic if you can recover from it. One thing I don't want you to ever forget is that you aren't what you can do. You only are what you can recover from. The truth of the matter is that many hockey athletes' work capacity exceeds their recovery capacity. So they want to think, hey, grind, hustle, hashtag, let's go, let me go, let me go, let me go. But the fact of the matter is the recovery won't actually allow them to recover from how far their mind will take them. What does this mean in real world terms? Well, you're all stimulus and you're no adaptation. Adaptation is recovery. So if you're just creating stimulus and you've got no adaptation, you're still not getting any results. You're spinning your tires in the mud. That's why I talk so much about recovery in all the videos, articles, and podcasts that we have here at hockeytraining.com. So, although training twice per day is great, keep it 45 minutes or less per workout, not because that dampens the stimulus, but so that it maximizes your recovery so that you actually make progress from both workouts rather than no workouts. Got it? So far, we're creating 1 stimulus per workout. We're making sure our 2 workouts are 4 to 6 hours apart, minimum, and that our workouts are each 45 minutes or less, not including warm-up and cool-down. Next, you want to train heavy first. So if you have a weight training workout that day, or you just have a higher central nervous system depleting workout that day, then that's what you're going to want to put first thing in the morning. Put your hardest workout first and your lighter workout later. So if you want to do weight training and yoga in the same day, weight train first, do yoga later on. Or if you have a strength workout and a tempo run today, do a strength workout in the AM and your tempo runs in the PM. Your performance will be better in both workouts that way, and you want to do the harder workout with as much recovery and rest and regeneration as possible. So hit the harder one first. Typically, this means weight train first each and every single time. Now, when you're training twice per day, your post-workout nutrition becomes very, very, very important. In a lot of cases, pre, intra, and post-workout nutrition can be very advantageous for performance enhancement and recovery capacity of an athlete, but nowhere is it more important than when you train twice per day. If you're expecting your body to push itself to the limits, well then you gotta give it the fuel so that it can push itself to the limit. That comes down to post-workout nutrition. So what I would want you to do is consume a shake immediately after your AM workout that comprises 1 gram per kilo of body weight of carbohydrates and 0.5 gram per kilo of body weight of protein. So if you're an 80 kilo individual, you would have 80 grams of carbohydrates and 40 grams of protein immediately after training. Ideally, this would be a shake. In a lot of cases, hockey players can just go have a meal after they train, but powder metabolizes faster, and you want to kickstart your recovery as soon as possible because your next workout or your next glycogen depleting bout isn't in 24 hours or 36 hours. It's in 4 to 6 hours. And we want to get that glycogen replenishment, that energy back in our body as soon as possible, which means we need to choose nutrients that metabolize as fast as possible, which means supplementation actually wins the cost-benefit analysis here. So 1 gram of carbohydrates per kilo of body weight, 0.5 gram of protein per kilo of body weight immediately after your AM workout, and ideally after your PM workout as well. So you can truly drive recovery to its absolute limit, which means you're driving adaptation to its absolute limit, which means you're becoming a better hockey player. All this stuff comes full circle, provided you do everything correctly. Last but not least, recovery comes back into play here because you're going to want to perform for every 2 weeks you do twice a day training, have 1 week of once a day training. If you're continuing to train twice per day, nonstop, going, you can cause overtraining. You can cause a disruption in your testosterone to cortisol ratios, where testosterone will go down and your stress hormones will rise. The body will progressively become less and less anabolic because you'll just simply be providing way too much stimulus and not enough adaptation. But if you throw in 1 week of training only once per day, every third week, your recovery will be able to get back to a level where it won't impact your testosterone to cortisol ratio, the overall anabolism of the body, and it just simply won't wear you down. Training twice per day is not just tough on the mind and tough on the muscles. It can be pretty tough on the ligaments and connective tissue of the body as well, which is not something that you're in the gym to do. You're in the gym to become a better hockey player, not in the gym to train as hard as possible and potentially risk injury, like say an Olympic lifter or power lifter would have to take into account with their mind. That's not us. That's not what we do. All right? So these are your rules for training twice per day. You want to send one stimulus. Separate your workouts with enough time to not disrupt the stimulus. Make sure you train in a time allotted that allows you to actually recover from your workouts. You want to do your harder workout first. Make sure you maximize your nutrition on these days. And also, for every 2 weeks you do twice a day training, do 1 week, once a day training. Look, you guys, I know you want to train twice per day in order to work really hard. Let me give you a realization right now. The hardest worker in the room is not always the one who gets the best result. I'm going to repeat that. The hardest worker in the room is not the one who always gets the best result. So who does get the best result? The intelligent hockey player who is able to put that hard work into the most intelligent pockets for hockey training performance and hockey training recovery. The hockey athlete who knows how to work smart and work hard is the hockey athlete who's truly going to take their progression and performance from an all-round perspective to the next level. Don't just work hard and smart by following these rules for training twice per day. I hope you liked this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button and also subscribe to the channel as well. And don't forget to click on the link in the comments section because I have a completely free explosive speed package that I want you to download so that you can become a blazing fast skater out in the ice. Let's go.